Now, the threat of severe weather is not over. CNN meteorologist Brittany Ritz is tracking it from the Weather Center. Several states are at risk this morning. Talk us through it.
Absolutely. And over the last 24 hours, we've had over 450 reports from Minneapolis all the way down into Texas. And all of this is going to track eastward. This was a true tornado outbreak. A definition of that, 6 to 10 tornadoes with one system. We had 57 starting on Friday, and all of that pushes eastward. There's that area of low pressure centralized over the Great Lakes. The cold front out ahead of it, still dealing with the threat of severe storms across the Tennessee Valley back into the southeast. Tornado watches in effect for eastern Tennessee back into north and central Alabama until 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Central Time for northwest Georgia. And again, that tornado threat still resides. In fact, we have one tornado warning in place for southeast Tennessee. The areas that you're seeing highlighted in orange, tornado warnings, or rather severe thunderstorm warnings, where we'll have wind gusts over 58 miles per hour at times. Areas highlighted in yellow, that's where we'll have the best threat for severe weather today. Later this afternoon and again into the evening across the northeast, that area includes places like Philadelphia up into Syracuse, back into Pittsburgh. A few tornadoes are possible. These are areas that are most vulnerable for that tornado threat. More of a wind threat, though. That is our biggest concern for the northeast back into parts of the southeast, where we're seeing areas in yellow there. The time frame, expect that to pop up around 5, 6 o'clock into the evening, especially across the northeast for that tornado threat. Victor, Amber.
All right, Brittany Ritz watching it for us. Thanks so much. Now let's go to meteorologist Derek Van Dam. He is in one of the hardest hit areas there in Arkansas. Derek, what are you seeing?
Yeah, Victor, when we approached this town late last night, we weren't ready for the destruction, the scope and the magnitude of the destruction that we were about to witness. Quoting what the mayor had said from Wynne, Arkansas, it's like the tornado or the twister literally split the town in half. And where we find ourselves this morning is within that destructive path. One side of the town completely unharmed by this tornado, the other side as well, but right down the middle, unfortunately, leaving this path of destruction, a deadly path of destruction. We have 2 confirmed fatalities. There were search and rescue operations ongoing throughout the middle of the night. And I want to just set the scene, show you where we are. This is the Wynne High School, and you're looking at an auditorium. This is some sort of a pickup or drop-off lane for students who attend this particular school. Look at the shrapnel. The roof completely collapsed in on itself. And if we take the aerial shots, take you more of a bird's eye view, you can almost see that path that tore the town in half, quite literally ripping the turf off of the football field as it, the vortex, the actual sucking power from this middle of the tornado took everything in its path and threw it, strewn it to the sides, and literally snapping power poles, toppling trees, moving houses off of their foundations, if not completely destroying them, scattering them across the neighborhoods here.
All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who learned this truth from, and I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. And today I just want to go into this article from CNN. That's how it reads: tornadoes tear through Arkansas, Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, Mississippi, and Tennessee. So I'm just going to read a little bit of it. Bring out a couple of scriptures. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying, straight to the point. It was updated this morning. And it says, strong, damaging storms have raked large portions of the central U.S. Friday, with more than 50 preliminary tornadoes reported, made in 6 states. At least 5 people have died in the storms, with 3 in Arkansas and 2 in Indiana. In Arkansas, at least 50 are hospitalized after a tornado hit the Little Rock area, and people were trapped in homes in Wynne, officials say. Dozens of homes were damaged in Sherman, Illinois. A sheriff says Nearly 450,000 customers are without power across the U.S. due to severe weather, according to a tracking site. And again, then it is going into the power outages. I'm just going to skip. Well, it says more than 450 energy customers, more than 450,000 energy customers across 10 states are without power early Saturday morning, according to tracking, according to tracker poweroutage.us, after severe weather tore through vast portions of the central U.S. Friday and continued overnight. Indiana has the most outages, with around 99,000 homes and businesses in the dark, followed by more than 84,000 in Minnesota. Has a rundown so far. So in Indiana, 99,063 customers are without power. In Minnesota, 84,092. Ohio, 59,446. In Arkansas, 55,633. Illinois, 55,731. Tennessee, 48,323. In Michigan, 17,629. Wisconsin, 13,177. Kentucky, 13,282. In Iowa, 12,880. And then it says, new tornado watch issued for East Central Mississippi, or tornado watch is in effect. A tornado watch is in effect for East Central Mississippi until 7 a.m. Central Time, according to the Storm Prediction Center. That includes the city of Columbus. Storms developing in the area could contain a couple of intense tornadoes with wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. You know, 2 people killed in Sullivan County, Indiana. Storm death toll rises to at least 5. 2 people have been killed as a destructive storm swept through Sullivan County, according to Sergeant Matt Ames with the Indiana State Police. This brings the death toll from the storms raking through large portions of the central U.S. to at least 5, including 3 people who were killed Friday in Arkansas, several residences, and the local volunteer fire department building were also damaged. Ames said emergency crews continue to provide help in the area. Then it says Sullivan County official says storm destroyed his home, trapping his wife inside. So, just going to read a little bit of this. And it says Jim Purtle, the emergency management director for Sullivan County, Indiana, told CNN his wife became trapped inside his family's home as a storm ripped through the county Friday night, destroying the house. Their son was able to rescue her. He said, I called my wife 45 minutes before it hit. I told her, Robin, you need to go somewhere. We won't have a basement. Purtle said, I was on the phone with her and she was crying. Jim, I love you. And it started tearing the house apart. We got hit bad, Purtle said, speaking by phone from Florida. The official was out of state when the severe weather hit Sullivan County. He has been working with emergency officials remotely. The storm hit the southern side of the city and destroyed a lot of homes. Purtle said, I'm not sure about facilities yet. He added, we still got people missing. And it says more than 50 preliminary tornado reports made in 6 states. You know, and this is the preliminary. It's lucky the number of preliminary tornadoes reported during Friday's storms has ticked up at least 53, according to the Storm Prediction Center. Here's where they have been reported: 22 in Illinois, 12 in Arkansas, 8 in Iowa, 5 in Wisconsin, 4 in Tennessee, and 2 in Mississippi. Just read the last 2 headlines, that'll be it. Multiple houses with severe damage in Sullivan, Indiana. New tornado watch issued for portions of Alabama, Mississippi, and Tennessee. 1 dead, dozens injured after the roof of an Illinois theater collapses on concert goers. Yes, the Lord is still continuing, to pour out his judgment, upon America. So, I'm going to start in the book of Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 2, and it says, "Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand." And yes, these tornadoes are destroying storms, when it hails pretty hard, you have hails the size of, golf balls or even baseballs, or when it rains pretty hard, or even certain states that get hit with hurricanes, these are destroying storms. These are tempests that the Lord has sent upon, this nation, And we're going to go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 43, and verse 17, and it says, "The noise of thunder maketh the earth to tremble, so doth the northern storm and the whirlwind, as birds flying. He scattereth the snow, and the falling down thereof is as the lightning of grasshoppers," or the lighting of grasshoppers. Again, that whirlwind is going into, those tornadoes, that are pretty much, ripping through these particular states, because ultimately America is going to be destroyed by way of, those ICBM missiles. But before the destruction takes place, the mandatory implementation of the mark of the beast, which is the RFID CHIP, that prophecy has to come to pass, followed by the destruction of America, aka Babylon the Great. But before that takes place, that has to happen at the time of Jacob's trouble. But the Lord is still plaguing this place, Excuse me. I'm going to bring out the book of Jeremiah 50 and Jeremiah 50 and 13. Even though this is going into, the post-destruction of America, it's still informative to bring out. So this is Jeremiah 50 and 13. "Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues." And yes, America is going to be left completely desolate, once World War III happens. It's going to leave this land completely desolate. No man shall ever inhabit this land again, Only the desert animals will inherit this land, Then I'm going to end it on this. And it's the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4, even though this is pretty much going into the elect being delivered, out of America, before that destruction comes again. Still, informative. But this is Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4, and it says, and I heard the voice. It's like, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, So even though it's going into the elect being delivered, spiritually, we should still separate from this place, because we're not of this world, Lord willing, we be the elect. But those of us, that are in this thing of ours, as the Apostle Kapar says, we're not like everyone else. We can actually see the future. We see the things that are taking place and filtering into the scriptures. Because America is, well on its way out. It's being destroyed systematically. It's being destroyed financially. The water is being poisoned by these train derailments. Crops are being destroyed. Livestock is being killed. America is being systematically, wiped out. The financial system, the economy as a whole is about to collapse, But, even though we're all going to have to go through it, it's still very exciting. We're still very, it's like we're still living in very, dangerous but exciting times, because we're watching the downfall of this man's system right before our eyes, So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. Till the next time I say Shalom.